Welcome to The Interest. I'm Sarah Wolak. Kicking off the last week of February, we have a showdown between our very own Vincent Valvo and Andrew Berman in this rendition of Cage Match. And of course, our friend Bill Bodnar has his predictions in Master the Markets. First though, the pandemic left lasting effects on the housing market, but it also shed light on what some have coined an epidemic of loneliness. One solution is co-housing, defined as an intentional living community with private living areas and shared common spaces. Texas is getting its first co-housing development right in the heart of Houston. I learned why lenders should be aware of this new housing endeavor. Let's take a look.
There are about 200 co-housing communities that are currently in existence in the U.S. today.
Co-housing is nothing new, but Texas is getting its first co-housing community right in Houston. Trish Becker-Hafner says that this is a ripe opportunity for borrowers to live with like-minded people, live communally, and explore a new style of housing.
Co-housing is on the other end because you have a private home that you own, just like a traditional home or condo. But then there's a lot of common elements too, like shared gardens.
Kate Springer is an LA-based architect moving into co-housing Houston. Since co-housing is based on the principles of group decisions, Springer is involved with selecting a mortgage lender or broker.
What might work for one individual may not be the best product for everyone.
Springer says that in her native Madison, Wisconsin, there are 4 co-housing communities, which often is an opportunity for a local lender to step in and present themselves as the go-to mortgage person.
Oftentimes what happens is one co-housing community kind of propagates the next because people come to visit, they sort of understand what's really going on.
To read more about how Texas is embracing community living, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com. For The Interest, I'm Sarah Wolak.
We all dream of owning a home, but for too long, if you didn't fit the mold, you were stuck. Stuck because the system worked for everyone except you. We've changed that. Angel AI uses advanced AI technology to give a 100% trusted solution and fast answers for worry-free financing, allowing you to achieve fair and equal access to lending. Angel AI. AI you can bank on.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to our Master the Market segment. So this is going to be a really big week. Last week rates kind of stabilized under key levels. We're watching 432 here at Mortgage Market Guide. But this week is loaded with stuff. First off, we have $169 billion worth of treasuries that have to get sold. So that could always be a wild card. We have economic data like the GDP, which is a little backward looking, but it could be a market mover. But the grand poobah will be the Core Personal Consumption Expenditure Index. That's the Fed's favorite gauge of inflation. Leading into this reading, there's a lot of fear it may come in higher than expectations. And so we know what will happen if it's a hot number, right? Bonds won't like it, but we also know if it comes in cool, it could be a turning point. I hope this finds you well. Have a great week, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye for now.
All right, so Vince, is this going to be a boom year for brokers and IMBs?
Wow. Listen, Andrew, the question you're asking me is, it sounds like it should be a simple one. Yes, no, whatever. You know what you're actually putting out to me? This early in the day, a math equation. And let's see how good we are at math here. I'm going to ask you a quick question. How do you define a boom year?
Okay, I'm going to say, let's say 10% increase over the previous year.
Okay, so now people are watching this are going to say 10% increase. Is the market going to go up 10%? But I don't think the market has to go up 10% for it to be a boom year. Mm-hmm. Because it all depends, right? Is it a boom year for you? If the market goes up 2%, but because all those other companies went out of business in 2023 and left the market share to you, your market share goes up 10%, then I think that's a boom year for you.
Yes.
Are we going to see companies that have a boom year this year? I think we will.
I think so too. I think it's going to be a great year. I think, listen, we just came off of our conference, New England Mortgage Expo. I mean, originators are supercharged. I mean, people are going to our sessions. They're walking away with new strategies, new ideas. I'm excited about this year. And I think there's going to be a significant market share shift going to the mortgage broker, going to the IMBs. It's going to be at the cost of, unfortunately, the banks. Not unfortunately, but
Yeah, it's not unfortunately. I agree with you that there's going to be this big shift. And I think one of the reasons is we saw a lot of companies, right? A lot of them come into the market last year, and all of a sudden, everybody's starting a wholesale channel.
I think I won. I made him cry.
Well, you made me cry here, you know. I'm so happy for brokers. I really am. Listen, everybody said the broker channel is great. We can get a sales distribution across the country, and we don't have to make that investment for that. So they move that way. That's going to send this to brokers. It's going to be the year of broker. Certainly market share for brokers is going to increase. I think it is going to be a better year overall because I do think we see some slippage in interest rates.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to go back up to 8-9% interest. So we're going to see some refis. We're going to see people back in the market, especially spring buying season. I think will be at least a little better, if not exponentially better than we saw last year. Now, do you think it's going to be like the best year ever for originations or for brokers? What do you think there?
Oh no, it's going to be a long time before we see another best year ever, and we're probably going to need some kind of calamity like a pandemic or some other thing.
No.
Yeah.
We can do it on our own. We can work our way up to best year ever. That's what I think.
Okay.
So
I like that. Let's build a strategy, help actually our originators, help our audience to make it their own boom year, because we don't need to actually have a record year actually in terms of our industry. You only need to have a record year for your production. You only need to have a record year for the IMBs and the brokers.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think on this one, we're not so much fighting against each other. We're fighting against people who are not going to come at it aggressively. The way you have the record year is forget what the market is doing. You go after it aggressively. I think there's going to be enough market forces that are going to support you in that. And that's what I think.
You know something? I agree with him. He's right. He's right this time.
I declare victory. Easy. Thank you, Andrew.
I'll let you take that.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com.